The accountancy profession is the backbone of every thriving economy. Without accurate records, financial integrity and accountability, commerce and industry simply cannot function. From the movement of copper and grain to the growth of small enterprises and national infrastructure, accountants ensure that every kwacha is tracked, every decision is informed, and every investment is secure. In the years leading to Zambia's independence, and even more urgently afterward, the nation needed skilled, homegrown professional accountants. People who understood the local realities and could safeguard the economic future of a young country. Zambia could not rely forever on expatriate expertise. It needed its own watchdogs of financial governance, its own pioneers of professional excellence. And those pioneers stepped forward. They laid foundations, built the systems, established the standards, and shaped a profession that would support Zambia's development for generations to come. As the world marks International Accounting Day, we honor their remarkable journey. We celebrate the men and women who transformed accountancy from a foreign dependency into a respected Zambian profession, one defined by integrity, progress, and national pride. International Accounting Day, celebrated on 10th November each year, commemorates the publication anniversary of Pacioli's work and serves as a nod to the historical evolution and critical role of the accounting profession in society. What is the significance of International Accounting Day?
International Accounting Day is very significant. To me personally, obviously, being a chartered accountant, but also for the entire profession. And what's gratifying is when we look at other professions, they celebrate. We need to be proud of who we are. It's not just about what we do in the back offices, the ledgers, the budgeting, the financial accounting. It's about what we stand for, our ethics, integrity, accountability, and transparency. And to be able to have a day to showcase who we are really means a lot.
The roots of International Accounting Day trace back to the contributions of Luca Pacioli, a renowned Italian mathematician born on November 10, 1447, often considered the father of accounting. In Pacioli's publication, Summa de Arithmetica, in 1494, he introduced and formalized the double-entry bookkeeping system, which still remains the foundation of modern accounting.
When we look at the accountancy profession, first we look at when the Act was actually created, and this is 1982. But many times we forget the men and women that were behind that. And recently, it's been very gratifying. I consider it an honor and a privilege that we still have the members that were there in the beginning, from as far back as the 70s, the first accountant with the, as they say, membership number 1. Being able to tell his story of what they had to do, because before in Zambia, coming from independence, we didn't really have our own qualified accountants. We depended on other people coming into the country, but then a time came when we had to train our own. So to be able to listen and to cleave, to gain wisdom, to understand the journey of what it has been to bring us to today is really an honor.
We who were like the pioneers had to get involved in training the other people. So you found that some of us who were on the SEMA side, we would then book space for the weekend. So we did weekend revisions at Prince Philip, but then it was called Kamwala Secondary School. The SCCA guys also did their revision maybe at Kablonga Boys or something like that. That's how we started training of accountants, some of them, but obviously it wasn't the best arrangement.
The pioneers were not just accountants, they were builders of credibility. Their work helped establish trust that Zambia's resources were managed responsibly. These were the trailblazers, men and women who transformed accountancy from a clerical function into a respected profession. Their legacy is the foundation upon which Zambia's modern financial systems rest. For Joe Chisanga, accountancy opened the door to a profession that was becoming increasingly vital to Zambia's development. As he grew within the field, he joined fellow pioneers in a shared effort to strengthen the profession and expand opportunities for Zambians aspiring to become accountants.
I come from a physics, mathematics background. I joined this company, and the person I came to know afterwards, that the chief accountant, saw my work and thought that I was good at figures. And they asked if I could do accountancy. And I said, what is accountancy? By the way, my background is from the French side. So what is accountancy? He explained a bit. I said, okay, how do I go about it? So we apply. Let me apply. I applied to ZICA. They were called some other name that time. And within a few months, that company sponsored me to go to the UK to do the foundation. I did the foundation for about 6 months, 7 months. I came back, and I thought it was becoming interesting. They said, you must pursue that. They sent me back to the UK. I went to the UK and I did my ZICA, and I finished qualified in 1980. I came back and I started to work. I worked in industry until 1983, until 1989, when I moved out to go into practice.
I went to say, now I'm an accountant. I want my job as an accountant. Said, no, Bwana, you're just a company secretary.
Fidelis Banda, as an accountancy pioneer, eventually became the Chief Financial Officer at Zambia Sugar, showcasing how Zambian-trained accountants have risen to drive major industries and contribute directly to the nation's economic growth, reflecting the pioneering spirit of those who broke barriers and paved the way for professional excellence within Zambia's accountancy field.
At secondary school, after I did O-levels, I then joined Zambia Sugar as a trainee accountant. So my choice was, I did ZICA, and they sponsored me to the UK on an 18-month sponsorship in 1980. 1980, within 2 years, I finished my ZICA studies and came back home. Basically, I think that's how I got involved into accountancy. So it starts from doing bookkeeping in secondary school, then trying to become a trainee accountant. At work, obviously, as years went on, I progressed to an extent where I became the FD and company secretary for about 10 years in Zambia Sugar, and I retired in 2002. I took early retirement and pursued my own things.
As a mother, Felista Spiri still took that bold step and got into the accountancy profession.
I started working with the Chingola mines. They gave us an aptitude test. It would appear I must have scored very highly compared to everybody else. But nobody told me, but I could hear whispers from the whites, because they are full of, only whites were really working there. And they would come. I was given a job of a receptionist. Then you just hear, oh, that's the one. That's the one. Oh, she's very clever. So at that time, if there was somebody to push me, they could have pushed me even a degree in mining or anything I could have done. But there was nothing for Africans. So eventually they pushed me into an accounts office, which was just data collection and so forth. My husband came one day from work and said, oh, seeing you are very good at mathematics, there is a course starting at Evelyn on in accounts. So I think you should go there. So that's how I came to Lusaka. I used, at Evelyn on, enrolled. I was the only woman. There were 3 men with myself. We started the accounts. Thereafter, that's when I knew there's a debit and a credit. I liked it, whatever we were being taught.
At the time, Zambia faced a shortage of qualified accountants. Yet, for the country to grow, there had to be skilled professionals to manage and report on public and private funds with integrity. Foreign investors needed assurance that their investments were in safe hands. The emergence of trained Zambian accountants would become the answer to that call, bringing confidence and accountability. To formalize the profession and the need to regulate the practice, the Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants, ZICA, was established in 1982 through the Act of Parliament. This gave the profession its ethical backbone and national identity. A few years later, with support from the European Union, the Zambia Center for Accountancy Studies, ZICAS, was founded to provide internationally recognized training locally, saving the nation millions in foreign exchange and nurturing homegrown talent.
When I came in, there was a blueprint by council, the previous council, to target the education of accountants. Just a little background. The companies sent students abroad to study. Those that were not sent abroad, lucky enough, they were studying by themselves. There was that element of foreign exchange going out. There was a mood then by council that we should help the country not to lose that much foreign exchange by educating our accountants here in Zambia.
In our own wisdom, we said maybe we didn't have the resources to do a professional level. So we broke it down into students, we broke it down into technician and also licentiate, and then the profession.
Together, they championed the creation of local qualification pathways, starting with the licentiate and technician programs to increase the number of trained accountants within the country. The collective ambition was clear. Zambia needed its own internationally recognized professional qualification to support national growth and reduce dependence on foreign training.
We had our first graduation of licentiates, and here we are with a number of licentiates. What do? We need to bring them up. So we created the technician level. So the licentiate went into the technician. But at the same time in council, we were talking about, we are not going to stop at the licentiate, we're going to go to professional level. Because what we want here is a professional accountant created in Zambia. So by the time I was leaving council, we had done the licentiate and technician, and the professional stage was underway. And my colleagues who came after me, I think, took it up.
In 2007, the ZICA professional qualification was introduced, and later, the ZICA Chartered Accountant qualification in 2017. These achievements reflect the united vision of Zambia's accountancy pioneers to equip future generations with world-class qualifications built on homegrown talent and institutional strength.
Another strategic issue we had was, now there was a bit more people in the secretariat. We needed more space. And that's how we got that premise at Joseph Mwila. We moved from Society House and moved to Joseph Mwila as our offices. That used to be Zambia Airways staff recreation, like a club. But when Zambia Airways went into liquidation, we had an opportunity to buy that building and establish our offices there. So I think during my time, the strategic issues were training of students, establish the NATEC licentiate program, and also expand the office space, and obviously try and see if we would get international recognition of whatever we're doing at that particular time.
The pioneers not only opened doors, they left guided principles of ethics, excellence, and service that continue to define the profession today. From the first accountants who carried ledgers by hand to the professionals driving digital finance today.
For me, I look at accountants as they're key. It makes it clear for anybody to do any business. because like a marketeer, you know, for them, they'll make the difference between how much they spent and what they have got as profit. All they know is that they have got this money as capital, and they start trading. They have no idea whether they are making losses or not, so long as they are collecting cash at the end of the day. It's only an accountant who can tell whether it's a business worth staying in or you are going down.
I think basically it shows the maturity of the profession in Zambia, because now we're able to be equal to everybody else around the world, which was what we were striving, as opposed to be an isolated accountants body. Now we are part of this big family of accountants. To me, I think that's a plus to the profession. It's going in the right direction.
If one made a choice to go into accountancy, my take is that they will not regret it, because it is a rewarding career. I will advise my colleagues, the youngsters, to come in and fill in our shoes. They are not big shoes, they're just shoes.
Zambia's story is one of resilience, vision, and pride. From the days of NATEC to today's CA Zambia professional qualification, ZICA's values are integrity, professionalism, innovation, customer centricity, and excellence.
So as we celebrate this year, I'm hoping not to just see memes. Let's do something. We've got a voice. We have a contribution to make to this country. So I'm hoping that in the wider membership, not just those that are qualified, those that are also training, let's celebrate who we are. We should take pride in being upcoming accountants and qualified accountants.
On this International Accounting Day, we honor the pioneers, those who laid the foundation, built the institutions, and carried the torch that lights the path for future generations. We have heard some of their voices and felt the echo of others in the legacy they left behind. Their ledgers may be closed, but their legacy continues to balance the books of Zambia's progress. We do recognize and celebrate all the pioneers that played a role in the development of the accountancy profession, and we look forward to featuring all of them in the next edition. Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants, a reputable leader in developing competent and ethical finance professionals.